Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Insurance Journal's Academy of Insurance's weekly webinar Aftershow. And today's webinar wasn't just a class, or it was an event, really. It was an excellent presentation, part of our How to Write series. Today's class was sponsored by Steadily, and it was How to Write Landlord Insurance. And joining me for the Aftershow today are our subject matter experts, Brent Denton and Ashley Mowry. Brent and Ashley, welcome to the Aftershow. It's great to have you here. Thank you again.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
George.
You compressed so much subject matter interestingness. I don't know if that's a real word, but I'm going to use that today into the event today. Do you normally do these presentations in tandem together like you did, or do you do them separately, or what's your presentation teamwork style?
Sure, I can go ahead and take this one. So traditionally, we get the opportunity to do quite a bit of these sessions in an individual manner. For our larger groups, though, we like to bring along friends because everything's better with friends. So it really kind of depends on the audience and things of that nature in who attends. So today we got the pleasure to bring Brent along with us, and we got to kind of tag team that information and make sure we could get the questions answered and also download all the details in regards to Steadily and writing landlord insurance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks, Ashley. So you both have extensive backgrounds in insurance, and I'm guessing you didn't, either one of you, or maybe I'm wrong, didn't arrive at landlord insurance initially or overnight. Can you tell me a little bit more about your individual insurance backgrounds and how you might have come to this expertise in landlord insurance?
I'll start this off, and I always like to share. A lot of people fall into the insurance industry. I'm one of the few. I actually went to school and college for insurance, so went to seek out this amazing industry. From there, I've worked with a few different various large insurance corporations, so that's kind of where my background is. And then have had the opportunity to kind of help build out the IJA channel here at Steadily. So kind of fell into the landlord aspect of the insurance industry.
Interesting. Ashley, how about you?
Sure. So, unlike Brent, I tripped and fell into the insurance industry and have been there ever since. So, right out of college, stumbled into an opportunity with a large insurance carrier working on the claims side of the industry. So, spent lots of time over there. Great way to get to learn policies, insurance terminology, all the things. From there, had some opportunities to dabble around, do some agency training, compliance, those types of things before I transitioned over to Steadily. So it's been a great trip and fall. I'm glad to still be here. It's been a great, exciting industry and couldn't ask for anything more.
I'm
Today
glad that
we're
we met you.
Yeah, we're so glad we're here to catch you today. Absolutely. So I got the impression during your event that engagement in, I guess I'll call it the agent community, is super important to Steadily. Can you tell me how you stay engaged with, I guess, if you're okay with me saying the community? Do you use modern technology like, data and things like that to keep engaged? Do you use more old-fashioned kind of mindsets, or is it a mix of both?
I'll jump in. I would say it's a mix of both. So when you think of like mediums, it will be traditional Zoom or video calls. When we're interacting and discussing with our partners, it could be over the phone, it could be through emails, right? So it's a mix of both. Who and how we reach out to different agents, it just depends on, we have different modes that we look at in terms of agents that use our product a lot. Maybe it's agents that used it and it's been a long time since they've used it or they've dropped off and we want to re-engage with them. So we have different areas that we reach out to agents, and that's really where Ashley and a few others on the team really come into play day to day.
Excellent. Ashley, do you agree with that? Is it data? Is it virtual handshakes? How do you keep engaged with the community?
Yeah, so I agree with everything Brent said. One other thing I'd tackle, being a tech company, data is really at the heart of a lot of things we do. So got lots of access to data, can do some data mining, really identify trends and things of that nature. So when I connect with those agencies via that virtual medium, we can have that virtual handshake and we can really dive into what's going on. The other thing that I would really echo is that we love feedback here at Steadily. So a lot of those connection points too really thrive off of feedback and be able to keep that continuous conversation open here.
Cool. Staying on the feedback idea, I was checking out your site, and I was impressed with how much information is on that site that's public facing. You've got FAQs, you got blogs about the landlord insurance landscape. Do you update those resources with feedback, with other kinds of information? Is it like an RSS feed of landlord, information? What's how do you keep that updated? How often do you update it?
Sure. So I would venture to say, or I'm going to go out on a limb because I know this is true. So I guess I'm not really on that limb balancing too much, but that gets updated very frequently, almost daily in the aspects that you're talking about. One thing I will share is that for our agents community, we've got a really great agent knowledge base built out, and that does continuously get updated daily, weekly, monthly. And a lot of those updates do come directly from that feedback that our agents provide us. So that is one aspect of taking that feedback and making sure that we can continuously say, hey, we heard you, we've updated it. Really, we aim to keep everything very simple. Insurance is great, but there's a lot of big words out there, a lot of terminology. So anything we can do to really make sure that it's simple and clear in that resource section is one thing that we do. In regards to blogs and things of that nature, certainly our marketing team is always working on publishing those types of things, making sure that we can keep things up to date. We want to keep all of that relevant and very useful and impactful to our agency and consumers out there that stumble across that Steadily site.
And I'll just double click on that agency resource room. I would say 100% of that website we've built out has been built off of agent feedback. We always have the mindset if one agent has the question, others will have the same question. So we build it out there. So it's at the agent's fingertips. They can self-serve as much as possible. So they're not having to continually come to us for those questions. So that's definitely a website that's updated, if not daily, weekly, that we really pride ourselves on.
Absolutely. Yeah, you should be proud. It's so great. So vast with the amount of information you have. It's fantastic. I was wondering, I don't know if it's a lighter note or not. You mentioned something about riot insurance in your talk, and I was wondering asking, I guess, if both of you could chime in separately. What's the most memorable risk or improbable risk? Like I was thinking, do you get a lot of calls for riot insurance in Billings, Montana, that kind of thing, or maybe you did. I don't know, but what is there anything like that you've come across that sticks out as an unusual, type of insurance that you've been asked to write?
I don't think I've been asked to write a lot of stuff, especially coming from the commercial side where I was at previously. But keeping it in line, kind of with what Ashley had said, is we're a very nimble company and we love the feedback. And I will say, one item that continues to stick out is, over the years, we were continually being asked, like, we would love to have a product that's near the coast. We were traditionally a company that would not write risk near the coast. So through the feedback, through a lot of data collection and everything like that, we were able to serve that up to our product team. We have actuaries. Everyone was able to come together. And if you look today, we now have a product. It's an X-Win product. It allows us to ride on the coast. So I would say it's not one particular risk, but through an aggregate of a bunch of different feedback loops, being able to now have a product for that.
That's great. Ashley, how about you? Anything stick out?
Yeah, the one thing that sticks out to me is I occasionally get asked about like sorority and fraternity houses. So a lot of these are really, we'll say, interesting dwellings in their nature. They've been decorated in various kind of decor, I think is the word I'm looking for. But those definitely stick out to me. Unfortunately, it's not one of those items that falls underneath our appetite, so we aren't able to accept them. But always interesting to see what's out there.
That is interesting, and I would hesitate to write that kind of insurance myself, fraternity and sorority. But if there's an appetite for it, that's really cool. And speaking of appetites, besides me profusely thanking both of you today for your time, is there anything else that you'd like to tell the audience about Steadily? Like any kind of coverage, any kind of Are you going to branch out into anything else anytime soon? I guess it would depend on the marketplace, right? Like, I know you don't write HOAs, condo associations, but can we see something like that in the offing in the future at some point?
I will always say, given our scale and growth, continue to check in with us because our appetite is always evolving. The product availability is always evolving. The states in which we operate in is always evolving. So if you're not yet appointed with us, get appointed with us, reach out. If you are appointed with us and it's been some time since you've used our product and platform, reach out to us because a lot of stuff has changed even in just a couple of months.
Excellent. And Ashley, if an agent wants to be appointed with Steadily, where would they go on your site to do so?
Sure thing. So you can go to steadily.com. Across the top, there's an agents tab. You can click in there, and then we've got a get appointed button that you can click on. Takes you to a one-page form. We ask some questions, very quick and easy to get that submitted. And then we'll reach out, make sure that we can get everything up and going for you.
Fantastic. The class will be on demand tomorrow. The after show will be on demand shortly thereafter. Brent Denton, Ashley Mowry, our subject matter experts from Steadily and Steadily who sponsored this event too. Thank you both so much for your time today. Really appreciate it. And we will look forward to hearing more from Steadily ongoingly. So thank you both again for your time today.
Yep, our pleasure. Thanks.
Take good care.